What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name's Elizabeth, and this is The Joyful Sojourn, a community of people who love stationery and planning and doing things creatively. So if that feels like an exhale to you and some entertainment and yeah, just relaxing and good for inspo, then I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. Today we are creative listing. This has become one of my favorite ways to journal. This is an idea I learned about from Lael over at Lael by Mail. So all credit to her for the kind of bringing creative listing into the spotlight. I've really been enjoying creative listing in my Archer and Olive notebook. This is the Rest and Renew box exclusive A5 journal. It's so lovely. It's that vegan leather, peacock color, gold lotus flowers, so pretty. This box is still available and my Joyful 10 discount code will work on it because it's not a subscription. It's a one-time purchase. So if you love this journal, you will need to get the box, and I'll leave my affiliate link and discount code down in the description box. But this is my book of lists. So it's been a different way for me to journal and basically spend more time on the creative play part versus lots and lots of writing, which can really make my hands cramp up. So this book is for my lists from May through December. And in June, I'm really focusing on things about me because June's my birthday month. So today's creative list is going to be really just reflecting on the 41st year of my life that is wrapping up. So we're going to use this guy. I grabbed a bunch of stamps and I brought stickers because I don't know how this is going to go today. I never really plan out my strategy, but let me just show you all of the stamps I could potentially use. This first one is from Lael by Mail. All of the stamps that I show from Lael by Mail, I think are in stock, and I am a new affiliate of hers. So I've purchased all of these on my own, but it means you guys get a discount code. So Joyful 10 will save you 10% at Lael by Mail. So I have this one. This is Lael by Mail's Bad Day. So if there's something that maybe wasn't great about 41, like a moment or something that happened, I can use one of these kind of thumbs down. Like, I like that one a lot. So we have Bad Day. Then let me show you all the Lael by Mail ones first, because I think that's going to be easier because I have a bunch that are not Lael by Mail. Okay, so I grabbed in the box 2. This is such a good staple stamp set. I would love for her to do an in the box 3 with more variety of sized boxes, but this is Lael by Mail in the box 2. And then love this one. This is Lael by Mail Grateful. And I know she's got one that's like more happy things, but I feel like the Grateful one kind of scratches that itch for more positive phrases. And so we might play with this one. And then not Lael by Mail stamps, we might incorporate my Die Hard like paint sprinkles and splotches. This is from Wintry Time Crafts. She's got a website, but she also posts shops. She also has an Amazon shop, which is where I purchased this. So that's Winter Time Crafts. And then I have 2 stamp sets. So excited about this. Is from Social Paper Plan. 2 of the highlights that I'm going to include from my year 41 reflection is Chicago Planner Conference. This was a stamp set I got at the Chicago Planner Conference at one of the workshops. And then this one, also a big highlight for my 41st year, was Little Craft Fest. And this was a Little Craft Fest exclusive stamp set. So I want to incorporate these when I write about Little Craft Fest and Chicago Planner Conference. This is really one of my only faith stamp sets, and it's so good. This is from Mediterranca Design. I think she's located in Germany. She's a small shop. She has a website where you can buy this from. She also has an Etsy shop, but I love the big, bold faith words. There's some scripture verses. This book chapter verse stamp I've used periodically in my like scripture writing faith planner. And it's just a really nice stamp set if you're doing faith journaling. So I don't know, maybe I'll put amen at the end to kind of close out the year. Who knows? Not sure if I'm going to use this. This is a really old Heidi Swap stamp set. Don't know what it's called, but I have it available if I want to use it. And let's see, this, I'm kind of thinking this might be our decorative element for the spread. These are Tetris pieces. I think I got this on Amazon. It doesn't have any labels on it, which means it's probably an silicone stamp or acrylic stamp versus not silicone. No, what is it? Acrylic? Yeah. Stamp set. So it's not going to be the photopolymer. And I haven't used it yet. I've done a swatch of it, but I haven't actually used it yet. And so I thought this could be fun to kind of maybe have all these Tetris pieces come together, maybe on the outer perimeter, so I have room to write, but then it's like, oh, all these pieces coming together to form my 41st year. So that was the decorative element. And then lastly, for stamps, I have this not twin pack, but I have them both in here. These are from Carrie Bradford's studio, and it's called Max. So I've used these quite a bit. We have the solid Max 0312 and then the outline Max. And these are actually really fun to use together if you wanted to use like a light color for the solid and then a black line and do like a drop shadow look where you're layering both stamps. I may or may not do that. I don't know. We'll see. But I keep them stored together. All of my stamps are in Hero Arts envelopes. I really like them a lot. Super sturdy. They have a bunch of different sizes. Well, they have 3 different sizes. And then lastly, I've done currently pages of like previous year and upcoming year with this Mojo Jojo Plan sticker book. Sometimes stickers are just faster. So I did grab this guy just in case I want to add headers. But I don't know. I think for my creative listing, it's going to go a different route than currently prompts, but we will see. So I've got this out just in case, and I am an affiliate for Mojo Jojo Plans, which means I have a discount code for this one, and that is Joyful10. Okay, let's quit the yapping, and I think what I'm going to do is just start stamping, and we'll see how much time we have left, because I do need to pick up Esther in a little bit, so I don't want to take up too much time. We're going to clamp this down, and I think it would be fun to do the Tetris pieces, just to kind of break it up a little bit. And I was thinking maybe I would do year 41 reflections, year 42 hopes, but I think they both need 2-page spreads. So we're going to go all the way across. Oh, the other thing that we need if we're stamping, this is basically an essential tool for me at this point, is the Lail by Mail pencil board. If you are in a journal like an Archer and Olive journal or any bound journal, any journal where you can't take the pages off, so if you're not in a disbound or in rings, get a pencil board from Lail by Mail. It's acrylic, it's super thick, and it gives you a nice sturdy like tabletop backing on your page when you're stamping. So we want to make sure that is nearby. So let's get to stamping, and I'm just going to use black for the outlines, and maybe off camera, depending on how much, well, maybe on camera, depending on how much time I have, I will maybe pick some pen colors and actually color them in. So I'm going to use the hollowed out ones, and yeah, I think that's going to be a good starting point. And again, I don't want to take up too much space, so I'm going to have to be strategic about which Tetris pieces I pick. And we'll just see how this goes, friends. I have a paper towel nearby. I also have my baby wipes ready to go. And if you guys are ready, should we get to setting up my year 41 reflections page? I'd love to know if any of you have started a creative listing journal, either because of Lail by Mail or since I started one. I'd love to hear about your journey with creative listing. It's so fun. Now, I'm at the beginning of this journal, so I am going to have to hold this up, but I have this pencil board here to give me a little bit of support. So we're just going to go for it and stamp it and hope that we are good enough. And I think I just cleaned this off, but now I'm thinking it might be nice to bracket this guy. I could go up here. Let's do it. And then I want to make sure I leave room for my header, which will be year 41. Reflect, something like that. All right, let's go here. I probably should be standing up, but I'm being a rebel right now. Hope I don't regret that. That's a much better stamp impression than the previous one. But yeah, this has been such a fun, let me move this so you guys can see it. Such a fun way to memory keep and to journal. Should go like, do one like right here. Again, I don't want to go, technically that's a twofer. So what if we did, now I feel like I have to be super strategic. If I did this one here, then I'd want to do maybe this one here. And I kind of like the spacing a little bit. So if we did that, then we could do that and could just do that. What do we think? Or this video is going to take me a while just because I chose the Tetris stamps, but they're so bloomin' fun. I could do that. And that. Do I want it to actually be like Tetris? Do I want it to actually make sense? Let's see. Go like that. I think I'm gonna not worry about it being, ooh, we could do like that, and then that, and then that. I'm just not sure how chunky I want it to be. You know what I mean? How solid of a shape I want. I think we're going to do different shapes throughout. So if I don't go as far down on this side, maybe that gives me a little bit more permission to play here. If I did that. I'm going to get in a rabbit hole here. I need to be careful. Okay, I think I'm going to go with that shape. I think I want like an individual piece like that. I'm going to keep it simple with just 2 more Tetris pieces. If you hear some clickety clacking of the keyboard, my husband is working remote today, so he's in the office with me. We share this space. All right, let's see how this is going to work. Ooh, this makes me nervous. Okay. This gives me a nice border for coloring. So I'm excited about that. Basically, I'm going to make a coloring page is what it's going to end up being. Now I can't remember. What did I have next? Did I have this one? I think so. Keep that pencil board on there. Move the dog hair. And we'll go right there. And I like a softer fade. So let's grab the individual box to kind of make it flow out a little bit better right there. And then let's go up from the top, and I could do that one. It's totally different, but kind of like it. Changing up the shape a little bit. Or I could go back with this one. Ooh, I like that better. So we're going to go with this corner piece. Take the ink pad to the stamp. Get ink on your finger. My hands have officially been christened for the day. And I might have to stand up for this one to both stay in frame and get my location right. Let's move our pencil board over. Yeah, you definitely get a better impression when you stand over your paper and you've got the pencil board. With these ones down in the lower left, I did not stand up. I feel like you can kind of tell that. I think I also, hopefully I don't regret this doing the Tetris pieces first, but doing the Tetris pieces first kind of gives me a framework for writing, which I appreciate. I want to feel, this is what I like about the creative listing, I want to feel freedom to write as little or as much as I want. And sometimes I like having the decorative pieces down first so that it restricts me a little bit. So I feel like it's okay to write less, which I know is super counter to journaling. Now I want to put my header down next because that's going to take up a bit of space. And then I don't know if I need them to be in chronological order, but I want to get the Chicago Planner Conference and the Little Craft Fest stamps down as well, basically making a little spot for them. Let's go with, do I want to do the outline or the solid? I think I want to marry myself to ink color. And for me, the color of the year has definitely been like a peacock color. So I know I want that on here. And I need my swatch book. This is where your swatch book comes in handy. I could take a piece of paper and rub these out onto a piece of paper and swatch it again. Or if I have my swatch book handy, I can just go to my little swatch book here. This is a B5 Arch and Olive notebook. I grabbed, someone corrected me once on Aegean blue, how to pronounce it, and I don't remember, I'm sorry. But this is more of a blue-gray, and then Ocean Depth is much more akin to the cover of the notebook. So this is definitely more of a peacock color. Do I want a lighter or a darker? I kind of think I want the lighter because I'm going to outline in black. And I grabbed a little brush. This is from Cocoa Daisy. I could, if I wanted to, smudge color. If I wanted things to be matchy-matchy, I could use this here. So I'm glad I kept this out in case I want to use inks to actually cover or color in my stamps. So we are going to move the Tetris pieces aside for now. I don't think we're done with them. We'll set them aside. And I want to do the solid color first so that when I do the black over top of it, the black will be stronger than the color. Whereas if I do the black first and then I do the blue over it, the blue may partially cover the black, and I want the black to pop. So we need 4 and 1 for 41. You can stamp them separately. I'm going to stamp them together. And make sure you put them in reverse on your block. I want to decide, actually, do I want 41 to be in a box? No, it would fit that one really nicely if I wanted to do 41 in a box. I don't think any of the Tetris pieces are going to fit proper. So this is a box from the In the Box set from Lail by Mail. Grab another acrylic block here. It's nice having extra acrylic blocks. At first I was like, I have too many, but in cases like this where I've already laid these down, I have a second one that I can use. Black is like my default. I think black makes colors pop more, and I like that. I'm gonna stand up so I get some clarity here. Move this out of the way so you guys don't see the light. And I think I wanna stay pretty close to the edge here. Nice firm press. And then let's take our 41. This is what we're going to do in color. And then we will outline it with black with the outline max numbers. Come back here. Now, I might want to go a little off center with the black. So I'm going to hug the left corner just a little bit. Here's our 41. She looking cute. Now, if I have time to do it, next week, you guys will see my 42 hopes list. So we're doing end of year 41, and then next week we will do my hopes for year 42. And then it'll be my birthday. And in July, I don't know what my list will be. I think it'll be more kind of currently type things, but we will see. Let's grab our outline now. I'm going to do the 4 and the 1 separately, just so I can space it exactly the way I want them to be spaced. And let me make sure I put my box away. Lail is super awesome. I've been emailing her about different things I'd like to see added to her shop, and I'm excited to see if she's gonna follow through on any of my ideas. And yeah, wouldn't that be awesome if some of the things that I would use a lot are added to her shop? Hopefully they would be helpful to you guys too. All right, so we've got our outlined 4, and I could try to match it perfectly if I want to, but I kind of like the layered look. So I'm intentionally doing it just a little off so that we have a little bit of white. See? I like that look. So we're going to do that with the 1 as well. And this is reminding me for future videos, I really need to keep my blue chamois thing moist, so I'm not using baby wipes quite as much. Let's put our 4 back. Let's grab our 1. Ink up our 1. And same thing, I'm gonna lift this up, hold it with my hands, and I want a little bit of white. So I'm okay with it being a little off center. Just like that. Now for reflections, this is going to be a super long word if I use, well, it's going to be a long word no matter what. But if I use this same font, it's going to be way too big. So I think I might have to change fonts. I am tempted to use stickers, alpha stickers, because it's going to be faster than stamping. So I've got a few different options. Let's see. Where are my fun alphas? So we have Calva Plan does alphas. Plannything does alphas. Let's check the fun alphabet. I want black. I love this one. I've always been a big fan of this font. She also came out with one recently, actually, where it was all black alphas. I do get sent Plannything sticker books, and I do have a discount code for her as well. So, per the usual, oh, here we go. Black alphabet. Joyful 10 will save you 10% at Plannything if you're looking for some good alphas. These ones, not all of them are clear, but I don't think they're quite the right font for me. This might be a nice one. Do you want it to be more straight or more like playful? I'm going to go with black alphabet. It's a 17 sheet sticker book, and I'm going to go with this font. And I think I want to use my massive ruler from Layout by Mail. This is a balancing ruler. Can't say I fully understand it still, but it's or a centering ruler, excuse me. So it has 0 in the center, and then it goes out an inch on either side, then 2 inches, 3 inches, and so on. So you can get a nice center, moment. And the only thing with this, guy, is it doesn't slope. I'm going to use my ruler trick to get my alphas straight, or at least get them evenly spaced, so we can make sure we have enough room. So REFLECTIONS, 11. So I'm thinking it looks like we have room for 4 letters on this side. So we could do REFLECTIONS here. And actually, if I'm going to think of it in that way, I think I can do this without a ruler. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to do the last letter on this page first, so I can make sure it's spaced the way I want it to. So if we're doing 4 letters, then we want L down first. And I'm going to vary the font type. I don't know if I want the 2 curlicues like that, though. Let me put that L down. I do want to vary the font, though. So there's uppercase and lowercase. I'm going to lay the R down pretty far. And I am going to try to keep these lined up. This is what's great about a dot grid journal, is you can just space things out pretty well. Go right there. And then we need an E and an F. I'm going to go with, ooh, I'm not sure I like the differing fonts. because I kind of like the way, maybe we don't worry about them being evenly spaced across, because I kind of like the way that these look kind of hugging each other. So we're going to pivot, see if I can make this work just freehand. And if we go on to the other page, we go on to the other page. So reflect, see, reflect. Yeah, this is surprisingly, or unsurprisingly, way more efficient than stamping sometimes. So definitely make sure that you have some nice black alphas that you can use in place of stamping if need be. Reflect. Also, I was using stickers in my planner the other day in the house and I didn't have tweezers, and I forgot how bloomin' hard it is to lay stickers without tweezers. If you don't use tweezers, how do you do it? I just don't know. All right, let's see how we can make this work and seem flawless. So what's nice about, I think that's what's nice about this, or will be nice about this, we've got a seam here, like a threaded section, and I think that's going to help with how these lay down. 41. Now, I feel like this kind of makes it seem like I'm saying 41 reflections. Is this page a little off? It doesn't look like it. Oh, I think my O's a little high. That's why. I need to lower my O if I can. Make sure it's more on the dot. That looks pretty good. Does it look like I'm going to say these are 41 reflections? Like I'm going to have 41 reflections. Yeah, that makes it seem like I'm saying 41 reflections. I think I need to spell out year. That's going to make a little bit more sense. But do we have room? Let's try it. We're going rogue with this one. Year reflections. I think this will look okay. Hopefully I still have, oh good. Ooh, we've got a fancy R, fancy lowercase r. Perfect. I think that's going to be just fine. Now, I feel like we need to add a little bit of color before I get too much further. Do I? No, I'm not going to add more color yet. I want to add now the stamps. Let me think about the things from year 41. Well, for sure, I mentioned Little Craft Fest, Chicago Planner Conference. I got on the Archer and Olive ambassador team. That was awesome. I was asked to join the Cocoa Daisy team. Awesome. This is all kind of work-related stuff. I hit 1 million views on YouTube. Awesome. Crossed over 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Awesome. I started a new health journey. And how can I say, I might have to break this out, but my daughter has grown and developed significantly over the last year. It's been amazing. And I want to figure out how I can log that for like my reflections. I know most of the things are work related, but there are things that I'm really, really proud of. And obviously I'm proud of my daughter. She's basically my life, but I really want this to be like moments for me, like my identity separate from being a mom. So I want to say something about how Esther has developed over the last year, but these reflections are really about the woman that I am and the things that I am excited about. So definitely health stuff. Oh, my involvement with women's ministry at my church has been awesome, and building community has been awesome. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe 12. I need 12 spots. And so I need 12 spots at least. I don't think I'm gonna have time to write things down in this video. So we're just gonna stamp the decorative things that I know I want to highlight. So obviously Chicago Planner Conference was epic. So I want to maybe do this classic Chicago thing. And Chicago Planner Conference was in November, so that's going to be, I'm going to roughly do these in order, or like try to find a good spot for them. So like I could put Chicago here, and then a highlight would be I'll write about Chicago Planner Conference. So let's kind of nestle this Chicago stamp in here. And I might just add lines for my different things. So Chicago gets some love. And I want to add some structure. So we'll use this ruler. So hard when we're at the beginning of a journal. What pen do I want to use? I guess we can use this Sharpie. Use my nib off. So I'm not going to number my reflections. I'm just going to write them on lines. So make a spot for Chicago Planner Conference. And hopefully I have enough decorative stamps that can represent my different things. And I don't need to write like a ton of stuff, but I do have a pretty big section down here because of where I put the Chicago stamp. So that will be where I reflect on Chicago Planner Conference. While we're on the conference-y things, I didn't go to Go Wild this year. So, and I heard it was like one of the best ones they've done in a long time because it was a lot smaller. Not as many people went, so it was more intimate, which I think is awesome. They announced the location for next year, and it's New Orleans, which was the first location they ever did it. So that's fun. They haven't said the date yet. So here's the little craft fest. And I'm going to put this one up here just to space out the conference related things. So let's pop this guy right there. Just realized I had ink somewhere and smudged it. Doggone it. It's a bummer. All right. So Little Craft Fest, we'll add some lines for that. I definitely want to use the thumbs down stamp for my fracturing my tibia. All right, let's get some lines down for Little Craft Fest. Don't need too many, just enough to say what I loved about it. So Little Craft Fest was a highlight. Chicago Planner Conference. What else do we want? Let me go to the bad day one. It's fine, I'm fine, everything's fine. Let's see. I'm gonna go with the the thumbs down and the frown stamp. This is Bad Day from Lail by Mail. And that happened in February. So I'm going to put it here. Yeah. I'm liking using stamps for these different like headers. Let's go over here. And ideally, I would have a little bit of room to put in a date if there's something associated, if there's something that has a specific date with it. Like I know the date that this happened. Let's do the ugh and the frown face. Let me see where I want my lines to be. Actually, let's do the frown face next to the thumbs down. Wish I had a thumbs down icon. I probably do somewhere, but I kind of think the frown is funny. Let's put that one there. I think I have ink on my hands. That's what's getting all over the place. I've had questions from folks asking, like, how do you not get ink everywhere? I don't not get ink everywhere. I actually get ink everywhere. It's an unavoidable thing. Even the most awesome of stampers probably have ink everywhere. And I kind of think it would be fun to write around the ugh. So we're going to add lines around it. So this is where it's going to be completely up to you and how your brain works. You might want to write everything down, your reflections down first, and then add stamps. But because I go in and out of my house with planning things, I like to have pages complete so that I can do more planning in my house. So I do the creative stuff out in the office, and then I can fill in the gaps when I'm going to do the line here more for decorative. It's not likely I'm going to write on that. Thumbs down. So Little Craft Fest, fracturing my tibia, and that might need more space. I'm going to do one more line. And I think honestly, I mean, there have been some lows this year, but for the most part, I feel like God has been really merciful. I had lots of great help when I was stuck on the couch for 6 weeks, and really appreciative of the just lots of support that I had around me. And that's because of the community that I've been intentional about building in person. And that is definitely something I want to highlight. So I'm going to, I would love if there was a community So I'm going to do the thumbs down, and then I'm going to do the grateful. The grateful stamp, I think. Grateful or God is faithful. Let's do grateful. And I think I want to do it. I'm thinking like aesthetically where a bold word would be really nice. But I also kind of want it to be counterbalanced with the negative. So grateful. I'm going to put the grateful here. I hope I have enough room for all the things I want to write. I might have to back off on my stamping, the things I stamp, or the number of stamps I add to the rest of this thing, because I might run out of writing space, and I do want to have space to write, obvi. And I know that my stamp is on the wrong side of this grid, but bear with me. So we're gonna do grateful right there. I'm loving the mix of fonts. It's so fun. So again, the grateful stamp was from the Lail by Mail Grateful stamp set, which is apropos. So because I like the look of the lines not being over or attached to the stamps, that's why I'm like, I want to stamp first and add the lines. But it certainly would be easier if I could just add a bunch of phrases. Let's do joy is the simple, best day ever. I'm gonna do best day ever, and maybe that will be when I found out I got on the Archer and Olive team. That was such a fun day. Like I really felt just affirmed that I have something out there to share, you know? So let's do best day ever right here. And I'm going to go a little rogue here and preemptively stamp a slightly different shape, or in a different way over here. And I'm kind of changing up what I just said about stamping first versus lines. We'll put good things, and that could be a number of things from my list. I don't have to decide right now what is going to be right there. Let's see. I really like the Jeremiah scripture verse, so I want to incorporate that, but let's add lines here for these guys. And I do have a smiley face. This is the List Builder Bullets and More from Lail by Mail. And look, we do have thumbs up, thumbs down. We might need to incorporate that. Oh, what am I doing? We want it's going to be a bit harder to do my lines. Let's actually do let's do a smiley face. Or we could do a heart. Let's do a heart. Because I kind of like the idea of adding little icons or a smiley face. Let's do a star. And for this little guy, I'm going to use my stylus. For these little teeny tiny icons, you definitely want the stylus pen. This is also Lail by Mail. I was looking for months for a stylus like this. I'm like, there's got to be like a long pen type thing for all these teeny tiny icons. And lo and behold, Lail by Mail coming through. It was, yeah, it's like we were in tune with each other and we hadn't even seen each other's stuff yet, which is pretty awesome. All right, so let's put this guy back and I'm gonna draw my lines. So let's do the best day ever. How far do we want to go? Maybe that far. This is kind of harder with our journal not having much support underneath. And it definitely makes me want to kind of change my shape a little bit here. Like the good things one, I want to be more like it's aligned. Here. And I'm just gonna have to come up with something decorative. Definitely doing this crooked. So I said I need 12 spots, right? That's what I said. 12 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need to add our lines here. Let's have this grateful. I'm not going to take too much with the grateful since this is going to be a full page line. We don't have to go quite as far. And I'm going to stop it right here. Go all the way across. Actually, for aesthetic reasons, all right, I need 6 more spots. 6 more spots. Do we have words? I could do the love this. Let's do love this. Let's see, block. Line this guy up. So if you are planning or creating or decorating with me, leave me a comment with what project you're working on. Are you just like coloring? Are you just eating some popcorn and hanging out? Are you journaling? Would love to know. What are you up to? I can see some analytics on YouTube, like some pieces of information. And one of the things that I thought was really interesting, not by a large margin, but most people watch me on their TV, and I would have thought y'all are watching on your laptop or on your phone. So that really surprised me. But then I was like, well, maybe someone puts me on while they're cooking dinner and they have like a little like TV in their kitchen or something. I don't know. But I just thought that was interesting. It was like 55% watch on the TV. And I would have expected it to be like much, much smaller, a percentage or a number, and flip-flopped. Okay. I'm going to go one more because I like these kind of staggered like that. So the good things goes with that. The love this goes with that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I need 5 more sets of lines. And the main ones that had specific, not positives would be, or not positives, but like specific stamping would be the thumbs down, Little Craft, Chicago. I'm trying to think. Oh, it'd be nice if I could, I'm going to go with Remember Your Why. And I think that I want the Remember Your Why to be associated with my YouTube views. Or the Remember Your Why could be for both hitting 1 million views on YouTube and crossing 10,000 on YouTube. It could be the same thing because I don't want to forget like my purpose here. So, although that's we're gonna run out of space. If I do the YouTube things, then if I do them together, I'm gonna need more space. So I'm gonna do Remember Your Why and fill in this whole section, and that'll be 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we've got plenty of room. And then one thing that I want to highlight is it has not been every month, but there have been a couple of months in the last year since quitting my full-time job where my income for the month, just from the work that I've been doing on socials, met or exceeded what I earned in my job. And I don't like sharing that kind of information, so I'm not going to say much more than that. But, you know, one of the big things that I thought would be evidence of really God's provision in my life and evidence that I'm right where I should be had to do with whether or not God would provide for us financially with the loss of income. And I have been blown away. It hasn't been every month, but I've had a few months where the income has exceeded my salary. And I just am so like thankful that I've been given an opportunity to do something that I really enjoy, that I believe God has given me a gift in, which is just chatting with people and encouraging people and doing something creative, giving creative inspiration. It's amazing that God has given me and it shouldn't be amazing, right? Because God can do anything, but like has put me in a place where I can do these things for his glory and be able to provide for my family. And I'm just blown away. So it would be nice to, maybe I can put that down here. And I know might look a little tacky, but I think a $sign or something would be a nice way to show that. I like these banner stamps. So I wonder if I could just to bring a little bit more color in here. I'm going to take this guy, this flag stamp from the list builder set, and we're going to go back to our blue. Which I'm not going to pronounce again because I don't want to make anybody mad for saying it wrong, but it's this one. And we're going to do it with this guy here. And actually, technically, we could do the same thing that we did with the numbers where we outline. Why not? I didn't even think about doing that. And I don't know if Lael intended for them to be done this way, but let's take the outline one with the black and do that. I'm going to do it off kilter again, just ever so much. And if I can find, I might just use a pen. Or I could do the thumbs up or the check mark. I'm sure I have a dollar bill sign somewhere. I could do, let me look at these. Thumbs up. I could do an arrow up. Let's do a lined arrow up. Or a solid arrow up. We'll do a solid arrow up with my black ink. This will just be about God providing financially for us. Although as I'm thinking about how I want this list to be about me, another significant thing that happened was Josh changed jobs. And that, you know, if you're married and your spouse is the primary breadwinner and has, or even if they're not, they're just in a job that they really love or they really hate, that impacts your marriage, that impacts your home, it just impacts everything. And so a job change for Josh really, you know, had a big impact on me this year in a positive way. We are praising God for that change. So that might be something I want to add somewhere. I'm not sure, though, where I'd want to put it. Just do these little guys. I like that a lot of these headers are generic enough that it's going to give me a lot of flexibility for where I write certain things. I know I want community and my involvement in my church ministry to be on here somewhere, and I think I want that to pop a little bit more. So I'm going to need alphas, and I'm just going to spell out moms maybe here, and I want the font to be different than that one, although I could use stickers. No, let's find a different font. Maybe something really skinny would be a nice juxtaposition. Could use my Archer and Olive. Might be a little too thick though. What if we did this one? Where's this from? This is from the Ton or the Ton, and gives me Ray Dunn vibes. This set is called Willow Alphas. Let's go with Willow Alphas. And what I like about this set is we have duplicates of each one. So I know one of the things people ask about is, like, what do you do if you have to repeat letters, if you're wanting to, like, do them all in one stamp? And you can't, right, if you have repeats. But this one is really nice because I have duplicates of each letter. so I can get them all done. Get the whole thing in one shot. So I'm going to put Moms. Try to get these pretty close. They use photopolymer stamps as well. So these are going to stamp quite nicely. How long have we been going, friends? Holy moly, we're at an hour. You guys still with me? What icon should we do today if you're still watching? I don't know. Oh, how about if you made it to the hour mark? Is a pineapple an icon? I'm feeling a little dehydrated, so pineapple sounds really nice right now. So I'm gonna kind of, I want this to be a little bit staggered. Moms. Cute. Super cute. Leave me a pineapple if you made it to the hour mark. And if there's no pineapple, just do whatever you want and be like, I'm still here and it's an hour. So for moms, let's put it on, start here. And I'm gonna maybe stick to this side. No, we'll go across, but not all the way. We'll go to where Mom's ends. And then I need to recount and see if I've got 12 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, we've got plenty of space. I'm going to go a little bit further because this community has been a huge thing for me. My church community. Yeah, I want moms to have a significant spot. Trying to think, do we want anything else? Let's see. Oh, health stuff. I want to have something about health. So let's see if we can find two more good phrases from the Grateful stamp set. And then Sweet Niblets, it is getting hot in here. So I'm gonna have to wrap things up so I can get the AC back on before I completely melt. So we're gonna go back to, oh, and then I like the Jeremiah quote. Oh, you know what we can do is add some Tetris pieces. Let's do that as well. So we're almost done. I really want to make sure I have room for this Jeremiah 29:11, which the planner community loves, because it literally says plans. This is the Mediterranean Designs guy. And kind of might be nice to throw it in a random spot just to kind of change up. I was thinking I'd put it down in the corner, but I think we should have it be front and center. Ink this guy up. This is going to be hard because I want to have it pretty close to the side here. So let's grab our pencil board. Hiding away. Yeah, you're definitely going to have to follow me on Instagram at The Joyful Sojourn to see how this all gets filled out. We'll do it as a reel. Okay, so this is where things, grab our clip to kind of weigh this down. And I'm gonna have to stand up as well. nice firm press. Nice. I think that works just fine. Definitely goes longer than the Mom's guy right above it. I could, if I want it to be more balanced, I could extend the Mom's line further over, but I don't think I want to do that. Put this guy back. I think that's all we'll use from the Faith one. Oh, but then amen. I liked the idea of doing amen. Because I feel like that's a perfect way to finish out my year with an amen. So I'm gonna put the amen down here in the corner, and then we will add another happy phrase or something. We will fill in space with Tetris pieces, and then we will call it. All right, so now we're done with the Faith set. That's a nice little touch. And then I said I wanted some more good things we used. We did love this, best day ever. Let's see, I want to remember this. Let's do the I want to remember this. This might be what I use to log. Maybe I'll combine like stuff about seeing Esther grow and Josh's stuff. I'll put that here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I feel like I have plenty of space here. So let's go with the I want to remember this. And I'm going to have this whole thing be writing because I have a lot of things I could say about seeing Esther grow and kind of changes in our family. I put that there so I could put my lines around it, and I wanted it to be kind of off center or off aligned from Mom's. And I do want, I'm going to put a Tetris piece here. I think I should put a Tetris piece here. And it's going to be the same one. I think we're going to go with the individual square. And I want to lay that down here before I do my lines. And actually, if I wanted to, no, let's do, I was thinking maybe I'd use one of these fun ones that have icons in it, but I think I want to stick with the ones that I can color in just to add a little bit more color. So let's add a Tetris square here and a Tetris square here. And then we have room for our lines. This is fun. I'm having fun. Okay, well, let's leave the square out just in cases. Just in cases. Set that guy aside. Let's draw our lines. Grab our ruler. I love oversized rulers because I love how it kind of presses down on the other side. And I think I want to not go all the way. Do I want it to go there? I think we do want to go all the way. I tell a lie. Although I have been trying to keep some spacing. So let's drop it down one and go all the way across. This is definitely one of those things, the creative listing, something that because it's more time intensive, it's not something that I would do daily. But if you've got time once a week or even twice a month to break out all your supplies and just come up with a list or grab a list from Lail by Mail, a list idea, and just play like it feels really good. And then you get these really beautiful memory pages. You felt the joy in creating them, and then you've got something, permanent that you can reflect on, which is really nice. So I want to remember this. I feel like we need to go, even though it's unlikely I'm going to write on this line, I kind of like the look of it being crunched in there. So this is going to be kind of family stuff. And then I've got room for one more. So we're going to do one more and then kind of want to change up the font, maybe Splendid. The Grateful highlights. Good things that happened. Maybe the one day at a time. Or appreciate. I'm going to do appreciate. I don't know what's going to be for this one, but I know that there are things that I appreciate. Even hardships. There are a lot of things to be thankful for, even in suffering. And so I think even saying appreciate ooh, I know what this will be. This will be my health and fitness. And I'm going to, again, kind of put it where it's covering up the smudgy smudge from earlier, and I can put my lines around it. Yes, I think that looks quite nice. Let's do our lines. So many things on my desk right now. And I think I'm going to put one of our Tetris pieces right here. And thus will conclude how I do, or where I put my Tetris pieces. Once the Tetris pieces are colored in, I think that I will appreciate the look of this a bit more. I'm going to go across. No, I'm not going to be able to write on that. But that's okay. Go around, appreciate. It's amazing how, like, last year when I did my, like, currently reflecting on last year, I just used stickers, and it was nice. I like the way it turned out. It was fun. But this year, me using stamps and doing like creative listing is a really great example of how I've really kind of challenged myself this year creatively to jump into mediums that used to scare me and were intimidating. All right, now I want to add some color, and I think I'm going to use the smudger. I could use a pen, but I kind of want to stick with blue, this blue. I could do multiple colors, but let's just see if this doesn't look good, then we might have to. I mean, it makes me a little nervous. Kind of just blow it out. So I am dipping in the ink, taking off some of the excess, and then I'm just buffering this on. And it's kind of giving me like a blowed out look. Do we like it, or would we like a more refined? I think we're gonna go with the blowout. I know it's not perfect, but I bet the dauber, foam dauber, maybe would have given me a more kind of precise look. I don't know. Hope I didn't just ruin it. I'm going to leave the option of another color by leaving a couple of these open. I want all the little guys to be blue. If I don't like this, I can definitely color over it with pen. Which I'm feeling a little tempted to do. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. Maybe I do all of them. All of them in the same color. Keep it in the blue. Curious. No, I think we should do all in the blue. Part of me wants to add yellow. I don't know why. I'm feeling yellow right now with the, is that because, did I do blue and yellow? I mean, kind of, look, the colors are very similar. I'm going to do all of them in this same color, and then 50-50 chance I decide to go in and actually use just like a caliograph or Tombows to color it in more opaquely. And there will still be that kind of blowout from the ink underneath. I definitely didn't do that well. So this is what happens if you don't dab it off really well. You're going to get the imprint of the shape of whatever you're doing, which I'm not loving. So I might go back with pen. So you definitely are going to have to see the finished product over on Instagram to see what I changed, if I ended up coloring things in. I'm leaning towards coloring them in with a pen, with a brush pen. But it's going to take time for me off camera to figure out what colors are going to look good with the blue. So we're going to leave it just like this, and we'll see if I'm able to fix it over on Instagram. All right, friends, I think we have to call it. I'm not going to pull in everything that I used again, like we did at the beginning, but I used a fair amount of stamps that I said I was going to use. I used some ink. I used, obviously, Layout by Mail stuff, both the ruler and the pencil board, and just a bunch of stamps. So you'll have to go back to the beginning of the video to see what all I used. And yeah, this is just a way for me to creative list. I know that this is not the Layout by Mail method. Hers is definitely just listing. And I've just kind of adapted it to seeing listing as a way for prompts, and then I can write as much or as little as I want. And that actually is seen in the way, Like this is pretty traditional listing, but I do additional writing on other lists. So like this is a list of, you know, turning points in my life, but I write a little bit more. Same thing with this. So it just, I don't know. I feel like creative listing is the starting point, and then you are free to make it what you want it to be. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Come hang out with me over on Instagram. My handle is The Joyful Sojourn, and that's where you can see how this thing finishes. And if you want to hang out with me again, I do planner review videos, unboxings, I play with stickers, I decorate planners, and of course I do stuff with Archer and Olive notebooks like creative listing. So hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. Until next time, friends, God bless you. God bless you and keep you do something creative today, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!